Today, 93 seats voted across 11 states in the phase 3 of polling. That day, the Ram Mandir debate is reignited. Samajwadi Party leaders' comments on the Ram Mandir were termed distasteful by some. Some others targeted the party and its allies for being anti-Hindu and accused them of insulting Lord Ram. It wasn't just the Samajwadi Party. Comments made by former Congress leaders gave the BJP further ammunition. Prime Minister Modi led the charge against the India bloc. After the Pran Pratishtha of the Ram Temple back in January, many political pundits believed the narrative had shifted in the BJP's favour. This was something they could reap dividends of in election season, is what many believed. The BJP has in fact fulfilled a significant electoral commitment as far as the Ram Mandir is concerned, one that they have made for decades. Whether that narrative shift exists on ground or not, and if the Ram Mandir has any effect on the voters' mind, that will be clear based on what the voting patterns reveal on the result day, which is on the 4th of June. But the issue has gained traction in election season. While the BJP accuses the opposition of denying Lord Ram and betraying Hindus for their politics of appeasement, they in turn face the allegation of keeping the polarization pot boiling. So will this be a defining moment of this election? Will this bid to consolidate votes in one particular community's favour have any resonance? And if it does, whose favour will it swing in? Before we get into that, let me take you through the story of what exactly has transpired. Now, it all started on the eve of polling. A former Congress leader, Acharya Pramod Krishnam, recalled a meeting of Rahul Gandhi and his aides right after the Supreme Court verdict in the Ram Janmabhoomi case. Acharya Pramod Krishnam hinted at a bid by the Congress MP Rahul Gandhi to get the order of the Supreme Court overturned. Today, Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav called the Ram Mandir useless. He said, "Bekar hai." Acharya Pramod Krishnam said that Rahul Gandhi had told his aides that after the Congress government is formed, they will form a superpower commission and overturn the Ram Mandir decision. Today, we had Samajwadi Party's Ram Gopal Yadav cast doubts on the Ram Mandir and the temple structure. He said it's not right. Krishnam further claimed yesterday that Rahul Gandhi had then said that he will overturn the Ram Mandir decision just like Rajiv Gandhi had done with the Shah Bano vote. On the other hand, Yadav brought in the Ayodhya temple's Vastu. He claimed that no temples across the country were built in this manner and there was something wrong with this. Ram hamare dil mein hai, but we will not go to this temple, is what Ram Gopal Yadav said. Now, in the war of narratives, is the opposition on a back foot? Well, historically, many say that the Congress especially has had its share of flip-flops when it comes to the Ram temple specifically and the movement that the BJP has been building on. So what exactly is the issue here and why many believe that the opposition is on the back foot? Well, let's take a look at the inauguration of the Ram Temple, the Pran Pratishtha ceremony that took place in January. Opposition parties, several of them were invited, including the Congress's chief, including Sonia Gandhi. All of them skipped the event. They called it a BJP stunt. They said this was a BJP-run, RSS-run event and we don't want to be a part of this. Then we had comments coming to the fore from multiple India alliance partner leaders as far as Sanatan Dharma went, especially the DMK. The Congress tried to distance itself. They were silent on some, especially as far as the DMK's comments against Sanatan Dharma was concerned. Let's look at Ram Setu and what the UPA or the Congress's position has been. Back in 2007, the UPA government had told the Supreme Court that there is no proof of Ram's existence, that it was all mythical. Hence, Ram Setu cannot exist. They eventually withdrew that petition that was in the Supreme Court and they withdrew from that particular position that they held. Now, whether the Ram Mandir issue is an issue that a ballot is cast on or not remains to be seen. But can one deny that this has been at the center stage of the political narrative, both in the run-up to the election and of course to date, even as we are in the midst of election happening? Today is phase 3. We have 4 more to go. From the looks of it, every party seems to be trying to cash in. Let's take a look at the BJP. The Prime Minister and top BJP leaders, for them, Lord Ram has been emphasized as the icon of a self-reliant India. That's what the BJP has been talking about in every single rally ever since January. The BJP carried out a massive outreach, starting from the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in January to the Surya Tilak that took place in April on Ram Navami. Now, the Congress, who declined the Pran Pratishtha invite by calling it a BJP RSS event, they too rallied around Lord Ram. They hailed the deity as a symbol of love, justice and tolerance. Last month in April, during Ram Navami, the Trinamool Congress made a shift in their stance. After vehemently denying the narrative of Jai Shri Ram in West Bengal for the last couple of months, for the last couple of years, this year the state government declared Ram Navami as a public holiday. They even carried out Shobha Yatras in area where violence was specifically witnessed last year. Let's take a look at the Aam Aadmi Party. We've seen Arvind Kejriwal visit the Lord Hanuman temple here in the national capital, often speak of being a Hanuman Bhakt. They too tried to ride on this bandwagon is what many said. They announced the launch of a Ram Rajya website. They did so on the occasion of Ram Navami last month. This was after the convener of the party, Arvind Kejriwal, who's now in jail, back in January had justified not attending the Pran Pratishtha ceremony. He had said that his party believes in following the 10 principles of Ramayana. We believe in action and we do not want to be a part of this event, is what he had said back then. So every single party seems to have taken a ride on that particular bandwagon. So the Ram Mandir and the politics around it has, especially in the last 4 months, been at the forefront of the political discourse. Now, while we see opposition provoke once again on this issue, is the Ram temple and is Ram being used for votes? That's the question we ask.
जब राम मंदिर का फैसला आया उसके बाद राहुल गांधी जी ने ये बात कही थी कि अगर हमारी सरकार बनती है तो हम सुपर पावर कमीशन बना करके राम मंदिर के फैसले को पलट देंगे।
आचार्य प्रमोद कृष्ण जी कांग्रेस में एक वरिष्ठ नेता रहे और उनको भी किस तरीके से मंदिर जाने का और खुद का मंदिर मठ को बनाने के लिए क्या सजा दी गई वो हम सब ने देखा और उनको पार्टी से निकाल दिया गया।
वो मंदिर तो बेकार का है, मंदिर ऐसे नहीं बनते। पुराने मंदिर देख लीजिए कैसे बनते, दक्षिण से लेकर उत्तर तक। इन्होंने नहीं दिया तो नक्शा ठीक नहीं बना, उसका वास्तु के लिहाज से ठीक नहीं बनाया गया मंदिर।
ये लोग पिछले 2 साल से एक बड़ी साजिश में जुटे हैं। ये जो कांग्रेस से निकल कर आए बोले मैं इन्हीं की बात बता रहा हूं जी।
ये लोग तो हमेशा से ही अयोध्या में से राम मंदिर का विरोध करते रहे हैं।
Joining me on this broadcast, spokesperson of the BJP, Shaina NC, Lokesh Jindal, political analyst who questions the BJP, Rashid Sharif, president of the SIMPLB, will be joining us shortly. Ravi Bhatta, historian, also joins us. Before we get into the politics of it, let me get in the historian on the panel. Ravi Bhatt, questions are being raised about the structure of the temple, how it does not represent what it's supposed to, the Vastu is all wrong. These kind of comments have been coming to the fore, and today is not the first time. We've heard such comments in the run-up to the Pran Pratishtha ceremony in January as well. Could you shed some light on whether that's a correct assessment or not?
See, when it comes to the criticism, see, historically speaking, I mean, one can always find out 101 faults in anything, because historically it is the image of a Ram is a mythological character, and different people have interpreted in different fashion. And the same thing comes to the temple also. When it comes to temple, right from the time of a Mahabharata, where first time it was mentioned, then it is Atharved, then it is the Skand Puran. And then, in a different, then mentioned by the famous Sanskrit grammarian Panin, then Patanjali, all of them, they mentioned it in different ways. But one common figure is which emerges is acceptable to everyone. The same is true about the temple also. Temple, I mean, like in India, there are different kind of architectural approach of the temples. So one is a Nagar Shali, the others are different kind. So that the people, the opinion can vary a lot. But in totality, I believe there is not much to criticize about it.
So this criticism is for the sake of it. Is that what you're saying? Sure, there may be difference of opinions. You can have different versions. But also criticism is one thing. Perhaps some are crossing the line when they make these comments is also what some believe. Is that what you would agree with?
Come again?
Criticism is one thing, but to cross the line, to question the temple, to question the existence of Lord Ram, that is something that is crossing the line is what many believe. Do you agree with that?
See here, when you say the questioning of the existence of Ram comes, so that is something, where absolutely does not apply in case of the religion. When it comes to the religion, religion is something which is the foundation of which is the faith. When people and they say it is above the logic. You can't logically prove when it comes to religion of anything. So logically speaking, one should not try to. It should not be the touchstone of the character of the Rama, image of the Rama. But in the memory of a society, the memory of the society in general, Ram exists. Ram is the Lord Ram is the incarnation of Vishnu, and Ram is the ideal by following which the society can the people can deliver best of things to the society.
Sure. So, Lokesh Jindal, is there then an aversion to Ram in the Congress? That's what many who've now left the Congress seem to say.
No, absolutely not, Poonam. In fact, Bhatt Sahab has rightly pointed out that if you talk about the entire essence, symbolism, and the embodiment of Lord Ram, it is basically an entire idea and conception of dharma, the Maryada Purushottama, that formed the basis of the code of conduct of the ancient civilization. So, simply restricting the Lord Ram to a temple or within a ritualistic framework is something which is not very much in synthesis to the entire idea of Lord Ram. So, there is a saying that to have a constitution is something else, to adhere to constitutionalism is something else. So, Ram in practice is way more important than merely offering prayers and restricting it to ritualism. What has happened is the entire essence of Lord Ram was basically an inclusion. Here is a Lord who was inclusive in his outlook, whether it comes to Shabri. His entire life is devoted to sacrifice, not going after satta, and thinking about welfare of the masses, upholding dharma, and setting an example for people to follow. And so the discourse should be more upon his life and values and what he stood for, rather than simply constructing huge monuments, elaborate grand structures, and creating a symbolism of might and some form of triumphalism. Now, this is something which is not in accordance to what Lord Ram stood for. So the Congress and the entire opposition bloc over here, it argues that you have restricted the entire essence of Lord Ram to your political convenience.
By you mean the BJP?
Yes, absolutely. So what has happened is for BJP, the symbolism is only restricted to target a particular community. It has become a war cry. It has become some form of a exaggeration towards a very aggressive form of a Hindutva stand, posturing of aggression and asserting itself.
Why is it a posturing of aggression? Shaina NC, sure, the allegation is that it may be used as a political tool, but I don't know where this form of aggression bit is coming to the fore. But Shaina NC, yes, go ahead.
Poonam, Lord Ram is not a political issue. So first understand that when you have certain leaders of the Samajwadi Party, certain leaders of the Congress taking on and suggesting that Ram Mandir and Ayodhya is a political issue, it is not. It is a matter of pride for all Indians, for crores and crores of Hindus and even non-Hindus. The fact that you believe in Lord Ram as a matter of bhakti, shraddha, call it what you want. And this has happened through an absolute consensus through our honorable courts. There you have our Prime Minister talking about Lord Ram as a emblem or a pratik of Ram Rajya, as a symbol of the days to come, where we want to ensure that there is going to be peace, harmony, but a Viksit Bharat and a Bharat which is on the road to being self-reliant in every way. And this is not just economical for every social strata, but as a country at large. Look at what the Trinamool Congress did. Remember what they did during the Ram Navami celebrations. Look at what the Congress's symbolism is, where they are talking. You have leaders of the Congress party, a spokesperson of the Congress party saying that how Rahul Gandhi wanted to revoke what has happened through a special panel, which is obviously factually not possible. But nonetheless, you can just leave everything to Rahul Gandhi's imagination when it comes to being outlandish and absurd. I want to say only two things. Every time you make controversial statements, every time you hit out at our Prime Minister and you hit out at Lord Ram or the Ram Mandir, and every time you don't choose to come for an invitation where you are invited with utmost respect, shows you that you are playing to the gallery, and as we call it, Tushtikaran ki Rajniti. If there is an insulting comment made by a Samajwadi Party member of parliament and their party is mum, I think this speaks about their vote bank appeasement politics. If there is a congressman who says that the Rahul Gandhi's comment on this Ram Mandir verdict was to revoke it in some form, it shows you how absolutely invalid their thought process is, and how they have no care or sentiment towards the people of India. And our Prime Minister is absolutely right when he says the Congress is the same party that followed the Shah Banu template and will continue to do the same kind of controversy irking at the time of elections. If you have no vision plan and no thought process, please don't comment on something that is a matter of belief and sentiment, not just historically but also proven to be in a court of law. If you are going to constantly question our leader and Prime Minister Modi, I think that you are doing a disservice to the crores of Indians who wanted this Ram Mandir and are so elated to have this kind of prosperity, holistic prosperity, let me call it, because it's not just Ayodhya which has been transformed, but even Uttar Pradesh for that matter.
Sure.
And in the days to come, you will have lakhs and crores of women and children and youth and senior citizens and all alike, including international tourism,
Sure.
to a place which is going to be the pratik of India's Bharatiya Ram Rajya.
Sure, but China and say you say that the Ram Mandir or Lord Ram is not a political tool, it's not a matter of politics aside, but the allegation of polarization is at your doorstep from the opposition, because we see the Prime Minister, we see several BJP leaders often talk about the Ram temple in election rallies. If it's not a poll issue, why talk about it? That's the question they ask.
What is wrong in saying that a Ram Mandir has been built by consensus in record time? That is a sentiment of crores of Indians. Why do we always have to be apologetic about being a Hindu or being proud to be a Hindu or believing in Lord Ram? I want to ask you, Poonam, for 60 years, this country has only played appeasement politics. You have only made sure that the Muslims and the Dalits work as your vote bank. You have not empowered them in their lives, not in their livelihood, not in their education, not in their security. And here you question a matter of sentiment and belief, Shraddha and Astha of crores of Indians. Why should you be apologetic about it, and why
Sure.
shouldn't the Honorable Prime Minister speak about it? And the Congress party has had the audacity to not attend the opening ceremony and then question the intent of the government. This is not a government program. This was a sentiment of crores of Indians that you have a Ram Mandir, you have an inauguration in Ayodhya where people from all walks of life have gone, and the
Sure.
Congress chose to be absent and then make this kind of commentary.
Sure. The Congress attending it, not attending it was a matter of policy for the party, was a matter of principle for the party perhaps, and that's all right for the party to have, Lokesh Jindal. But there are people who were a part of the Congress party who quit the party or were pushed out, like many have claimed, like in the case of Acharya Pramod Krishnan, because they took a certain stance that was seen as pro-Hindutva or pro-Hindu, which is supposed to be the BJP stance. That's something that the Congress didn't want. That's the kind of narrative that we are seeing. Is that what it is? And in the war of narratives, can the Congress try and counter that effectively?
Well, Poonam, just before the Pran Pratishtha, there were many leaders who went and they offered their prayers. Ajay Rai, Avinash Pandey ji, there are so many leaders, hundreds of them, they went and they offered their prayers. The opposition was to the politicization of the issue, not with respect to your personal faith, and your personal adherence, personal devotion to the Lord. We must get this straight and clear. So the party says that simply keep religion at a distance, at an arm's length when we are talking about politics. Why to bring in religion? Because that is something which is against the very idea of India. The constitution does not promote meddling of religious affairs with the state and polity. But what is happening is the moment we have politics meddled with religion, it's a toxic and a dangerous.
But where was politics being meddled with religion? It wasn't a state government event. It wasn't a central government's event.
Well, then what was
The invitation came to the fore from the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust.
No, tell me one thing. If that was not the scenario, why didn't the akhadas and the one who had been petitioning in the Supreme Court, their head and the priests going and doing the Pran Pratishtha ceremony, the Prime Minister could have focused more upon the issues pertaining to the economy, society and polity rather than attending that.
But it wasn't the Prime Minister's call. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. It was the call of the trust as to who did the Pran Pratishthas, who was invited or who was not invited.
So even if the trust is taking a decision, the Shankaracharyas, they objected to it. It was a cultural festival. It should have been projected as a cultural one. But the moment you introduce the political color to it, it becomes politicized.
Sure.
For the simple issue, the moment you have, for example, even if there is a rocket launch and you have the Prime Minister coming out and giving it a political presentation to it, it is a politicization. So that's very much the manner in which it functions. What should have been there is such religious ceremonies, cultural festivals and expressions, they should have been kept insulated and isolated from the political current altogether.
Sure. Politics should be kept out of it, but that should be the standard for every single person, right? Irrespective of political affiliations. You accuse the BJP of claiming credit over this and politicizing it, but the opposition too is trying to make a point by saying this is a BJP event, so we'll not go there. But let me also get in Rashid Sharif. Is the Ram Mandir, the comments against the Ram Mandir, an issue that has been made political when it's not? Because that's not what many believe.
मैडम ये मिसयूज कर रहे हैं सो ये लोग राम जी का नाम मिसयूज कर रहे हैं, राम मंदिर मिसयूज कर रहे हैं लोग।
कौन है ये
लोग? ये लोग बीजेपी के लोग हैं मैडम। ये मैं ये जानना चाह रहा हूँ कि भाई हम भी है सो यहाँ पे 17 से 20 करोड़ मुसलमान हैं। आप है सो मुसलमानों को है सो बिल्कुल ताक पे रख के आप बात कर रहे हैं। ये बात कर रहे हैं कि जब देखो राम मंदिर की बात होती है, जब देखो है सो आप हिंदू राज की बात होती है, राम राज की बात होती है, तो हम कहाँ जाना? ये इलेक्शन है, यहाँ पे है सो आप डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम रखिए, आप बताइए कि भाई हम है सो इनके लिए ये
तो आप ये बोलेंगे सर कि ये मंदिर यूजलेस है, ये मंदिर बनना नहीं चाहिए था, क्या ये आप बोलेंगे? आपकी आस्था आपकी जगह किसी और की आस्था उसके जगह नहीं हो सकती है क्या?
ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बोला है कि वहाँ पे
क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? इसका मैं एक बयान पढ़ना चाहती हूँ। उन्होंने कहा कि दिस टेम्पल इज एंटी हिंदू, इट इज एंटी राम इटसेल्फ, और कहा है कि ये जो आपने किया है आपने क्यों किया है, देश के लोगों को लॉर्ड राम से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है। मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ कि आप समाज के ठेकेदार हो, क्या आपने तय किया है कि हमें ये आस्था में विश्वास करना चाहिए या नहीं? और भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने कभी भी एक राजनीतिक मुद्दा नहीं बनाया है, ये एक मुद्दा रहा है ऑन द वर्डिक्ट ऑफ द ऑनरेबल कोर्ट्स इन कंसेंसस, और जब बना और सब ने स्वागत किया, हर मजहब के लोगों ने स्वागत किया, तो आप क्यों राजनीति खेल रहे हैं इस पे?
कोई राजनीति नहीं है पूनम जी, ये राजनीति ये लोग बना रहे हैं इसको, आज इशू ये लोग बना रहे हैं राम मंदिर को। आज इलेक्शन चल रहा है।
Rashid Sharif, that was China NC of the BJP that you were responding to, but yes, go ahead.
नहीं मैडम, मैं एक ही चीज बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि यहाँ पे दुनिया हिंदुस्तान में हर एक मजहब का लोग रहते हैं यहाँ पे, हर एक के लिए आप ऐसा सोचना चाहिए, हर एक के ख्याल करना चाहिए, किसी को ठेस ना हो। इलेक्शन है ये, आप बार बार 370 का जिक्र करते हैं, बार बार ऐसा आप CAA का जिक्र करते हैं, शरिया का जिक्र करते हैं, आप यहाँ इसको ये चीजों शरिया लॉ को हटाने की बात करते हैं। हम जबकि मुसलमान पूरे शरिया लॉ को मानते हैं, हम शरिया लॉ पे चलते हैं, कुरान पे चलते हैं हम लोग। आप बार बार है तो बताएंगे कि शरिया लॉ को हटाने की कोशिश करेंगे, ट्रिपल तलाक हम ला दिए, जबकि हमारे कुरान में है किस तरीके से है, तो आप साथ रहना है किस तरीके से, अलहदा होना है। ये जितने भी मुस्लिम इश्यूज है, इन लोगों को इन्वॉल्व होना बहुत जरूरी है। जब तक ये लोग इन्वॉल्व नहीं हुए, इनको सुकून मिलने वाला नहीं है। आप ऐसो अगर वही है तो आप चाहते हैं कि अगर मुस्लिम्स को ऐसो कोई अच्छा है तो ऐसो हमारे को एक बड़ा मुकाम मिले। आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर सिर्फ हिंदुओं के नहीं है, आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर मुसलमान के भी है, क्रिश्चियंस के भी है, सरदारजियों के भी है। आप अगर एक ही तबके को लेके चलेंगे, आप बताएंगे 370 से 400 पार करेंगे, क्या है ये फिगर? आपको कहां से आ गया ये
Poonam, can I
फिगर?
say something? These are the same people who opened fire when the car sevaks denied. These are the same people who fired at the car sevaks. We know that this is a meaningless expectation of these leaders who have no vision, no sentiment, no religious sentiment at all towards the majority population of this country. And I don't think that the majority population needs to be apologetic anymore. We as a society are very, very clear that whether it's the Ram Mandir or when we say Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, there is no discrimination based on the basis of caste, creed, community. But this kind of constant opposition and this kind of commentary which comes from the Congress party and the Samajwadi party only shows you one thing, that people who decline the invitation of the Pran Pratishtha are now sitting and commenting on Lord Ram, which is historically also a disservice to India's great history based on archaeological evidence. And there you have also dismissed the sentiment of crores of Indians, and just because you belong to the majority community does not mean that you should be constantly at the badgering end.
राशिद शरीफ जी, आप ट्रिपल तलाक की बात कर रहे थे, आप डेवलपमेंट की बात कर रहे थे। डेवलपमेंट की बात होती है, ऐसे काफी लाभार्थी हैं ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स दैट आर स्पेसिफिकली टू द मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी, लाइक स्कॉलरशिप्स दैट आर गिवन आउट, or the triple talaq ban. A lot of Muslim women came out and welcomed it. That is also something that was objected to.
मैडम ये आप देखें, आप स्कॉलरशिप बंद कर दी गई, बजट हमारा 5,000 करोड़ से 3,000 करोड़ कर दिया गया। ये सब देख रहे हैं ना मैडम, बजट 5,000 था, हमारा 3,000 कर दिया गया। कोई बोलने वाला नहीं, कोई पूछने वाला नहीं है। आज जितने भी है सो मिसयूज कर रहे हैं। मैं बता रहा हूँ कि राम मंदिर को और रामलाला को जो मिसयूज कर रहे हैं, हैदराबाद में भी यहाँ पे शोभा यात्रा निकलती है, हैदराबाद में भी रामनवमी निकलती है। सियाई गाली गलौज के कोई ये जितने भी रामनवमी है या शोभा यात्रा है, इतना टेंशन होता है हैदराबाद में जिसकी कोई हद नहीं। हर कोई दो डरा हुआ होता है। अरे आप रामलाला के नाम से आप जा रहे हैं, जुलूस निकाल के जा रहे हैं, तो हमारे मालूम होना चाहिए कि रामलाला कैसे थे, उनकी तरबियत कैसी हुई, हिंदू से उनका कैसी किस तरीके से इज्जत करना, किस तरीके से मुसलमानों
सर, अगर वायलेंस होती है इन यात्राओं में, हमने बंगाल में भी देखी है, ये तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का काम है टू एंश्योर दैट द वायलेंस डज नॉट हैपन।
बिल्कुल मैडम, मैं कर यहाँ पे इस माहौल जैसा कि मैं बता रहा हूँ, रामलाला का जो नाम यूज कर रहे हैं लोग, इलेक्शन में भी कर रहे हैं, यात्राओं में कर रहे हैं। जय सिया राम बोल के नारे लगा के मुस्लिम को मारते हैं, जय सिया राम बोलो बोल के मुस्लिम को मारते हैं। ये है, ये सीख है, रामलाला की सीख इस तरीके की है। हम खुद डर जा रहे हैं कि रामलाला का नाम लेके तुम कर रहे क्या, तुम क्या?
As far as the Ram temple is concerned and the politics around it, the allegations fly in from both sides. The BJP accuses the opposition of appeasement politics. The opposition turns around and blames the BJP for keeping the communal pot boiling. But is this politics something that could impact elections? Could it actually have an effect on the elections that we are seeing going on? That's something that we will have to wait and find out. But I have to leave it at that. I thank all my guests for joining us here on this broadcast.